Hello, welcome to the Mark Janard Show, the cybersecurity show. Microsoft got hacked. They got hacked. In this video, I'm going to break it down. I'm also going to provide example coding of how they were able to hack Microsoft, like these hackers, right? So without further ado, let's go right into it. We're going dark. So a major cyber attack targeted Microsoft's SharePoint server software, compromising roughly 100 organizations worldwide, including government agencies, universities, energy firms, and companies in the United States, Germany, and Asia. So the attackers exploited a zero-day vulnerability, meaning it was previously unknown and unpatched by Microsoft, identified as CVE 2025-53770. This bug, basically allowed unauthenticated remote code execution, granting hackers full access to SharePoint content, system files, and internal configurations, with potential for lateral movement to other connected services such as OneDrive and Teams. Now, before I get into it, I want to talk a little bit about zero-day and remote code execution. So a zero-day vulnerability is a security flaw in software or hardware that is unknown to software vendor or the people responsible for its security, meaning there is no official fix or patch available. So the term zero day comes from the idea that the vendor has had 0 days to respond to or address the vulnerability. Now, it's basically unknown to the developer. The software maker is not yet aware of the flaw. No patch or defense exists because it hasn't been discovered or disclosed. No update, workaround, or antivirus signature can protect against it. Now, it's high risk, right? These vulnerabilities can be exploited by malicious actors to carry out attacks before anyone, including users or security researchers, know the issue exists. Now, that's zero day. Remote code execution is a critical, security vulnerability that allows a remote attacker to run arbitrary code such as commands, scripts, or programs on a target computer or server, typically over a network or the internet, without the need for physical access to the machine. RCE usually occurs when software vulnerabilities like poor input validation, insecure file uploads, or flaws in memory management enable attackers to inject and execute their code. This unauthorized code often enables activities such as installing malware, stealing sensitive data, gaining full control over the system. There's escalating privileges, spreading to other systems within the network. Now, common causes of the RCE is unsafe evaluation of user supplied input, code injection vulnerabilities like SQL injection, deserialization flaws, buffer overflows, and other memory corruption issues. Now, the scope and impact of this cyber attack was basically only on premises. The self-hosted SharePoint servers, Microsoft's cloud-based SharePoint Online, and Microsoft 365 were not vulnerable. At least 2 US federal agencies alongside other entities in multiple countries suffered breaches. So the attack was discovered on July 18th, with waves of intrusion occurring over July 18th to 19th. Now, hackers used a network spoofing technique to trick systems into gaining them unauthorized access. Initial evidence suggests that the operation may have been carried out by a single individual or group, but the situation continues to evolve. The vulnerability was similar to another bug patched by the Microsoft earlier in the July, right? That's the CVE 2025-49706, but the new variant, which is the CVE 2025-53770, continued to pose a risk. Now, no details about the identities of basically the affected organizations were released. Incident responders notified relevant national authorities. The exploitation involves sending a specially crafted HTTP post request to the following endpoint. Peter, please put that code on the screen, right? And when I mean the code, Peter, I mean the endpoint and forged header codes, right? So basically this combination bypasses authentication and SharePoint's form, digest validation, allowing, unauthenticated attackers to execute arbitrary code and extract sensitive, cryptographic secrets like the SharePoint validation key from the server. While no full, exploit code has been published in the index results, right? Several reports outline the exploitation steps, like basically an illustrative attack flow represented as a Python-like pseudocode HTTP request. Now, it would resemble like this. Peter, please put that code on the screen. You have to replace the SharePoint server with the target address. The payload should be a malicious serialization gadget chain, such as those constructed with the YSO serial, right? That triggers execution upon deserialization by SharePoint. Now, after bypassing the authentication, the attacker typically uploads a malicious, .aspx file, right, to the SharePoint layouts directory, right? And Peter, you could put that file path on the screen, the program files, common files, Microsoft shared web server, that's C, and the extensions, which is the 15 template LA, right? So this file is then used to extract secrets or launch further code execution. You have to send a post request with a forge referrer header, right? You can leverage the ASP.NET deserialization with malicious view state. You have to gain code execution as NT authority in you know the IUSR, upload or trigger a web shell or payload. Now the response to this attack, Microsoft has issued emergency patches and urgent mitigation instructions for supported versions, whether it's the SharePoint Server 2019 or the SharePoint Server Subscription Edition, while a fix for the SharePoint Server 2016 was still in progress, even as of today. So the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency added the CVE 2025-53770 to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalogs and advised organizations to disconnect vulnerable servers from the internet if they could not be immediately patched. So security experts urged affected organizations to scan for compromised systems, monitor for suspicious network activity, as specified by Microsoft recommended immediate actions for affected users. Now, you have to install Microsoft's urgent security, updates for SharePoint servers. Rotate cryptographic keys after patching, since key theft is a major part of the attack vector. Check for signs of compromise and basically consider engaging incident response teams. Some experts advise temporarily disconnecting affected servers from the internet while addressing the threat. You have to update and activate anti-malware protections as suggested by the Microsoft and cybersecurity authorities. So these are the things that's happening, people. These are the things that's happening. So please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and like button if you want more videos like this. If you enjoyed this video, you were entertained and educated at the same time, please take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and like button. I appreciate your viewership. Stay safe and see you on the next video.